to No Guilt, Just Growth. I'm Kristen Pomper, wife, coach, and corporate working mom of two. I help ambitious working moms stop running on empty and start building lives they're obsessed with, without the guilt or burnout. I'm on a mission to redefine what success looks like for moms. Because one thing I know for sure, it's not about putting everyone else's needs above your own. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, you're in the right place. Hey gal, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that we've all heard, something that we've all probably said before, the I don't have time excuse. I'm calling it exactly as it is because here's the truth. You don't need more time. You need to use the time you have more wisely. For those of you that know me, you know I can be pretty direct. So I'm just going to go ahead and preface that today's episode is going to be a pep talk, a little tough love, but the kind of push I think most of us need to hear. So if you've ever caught yourself saying, I just don't have enough time, this one's for you. First off, I have been there. I used to say it too. I genuinely believed it. There were weeks where I'd feel like I was constantly running, spinning my wheels, and never really getting anywhere. And honestly, some days I catch myself in the same mindset. I'm not perfect at managing time. Some weeks I mess up. But I've learned that it's not about needing more hours in the day. It's about taking back control of the time you already have and investing in the things that truly matter. In this episode, we're covering exactly how I flip the I don't have time mindset, why waiting for a calmer, less busy season is holding you back, practical strategies to reclaim your time, and how to prioritize the things that actually move the needle in your life so you can stop surviving and start truly living. And I'm going to share what's worked for me, what I've stumbled on, and how I keep showing up even when life feels crazy. First things first, everyone, every person that you admire, every mom or mentor that you look up to, every wealthy, fit, successful person that you know has these same 24 hours in a day that you do. Oprah, Bezos, Elon, Mel Robbins, Taylor Swift. They've all got the same 24 hours. Nobody has these secret hours tucked away. But you know what all of those people have? Systems, priorities, clarity, discipline. They know what matters most, and they protect those priorities. They're not trying to do everything. They're doing the right things. And here's the kicker. You can too. You just have to make better use of your time. Make better choices of the time that you have consistently. Now, you may be thinking, yeah, but my life is crazy. You just don't understand. I hear you, but let's be real for a second. How much of your time is getting sucked away? Sucked away by scrolling on your phone for hours, saying yes to things that you hate doing, wiping down the kitchen counter 30 times. That was literally me. Or zoning out to Netflix just because you're exhausted. None of that makes you a bad person. It makes you normal. But it also means that there's more time available to you than you think. All of those things are distractions. They're pulling you away from your priorities. Imagine what you could accomplish if you earned your distractions. We do this with our kids all of the time. They don't get TV or video games until their homework is done or their room is clean. And yet we doom scroll or zone out on Netflix even after skipping a workout or ignoring a handful of emails or meal prepping a healthy lunch for the week. You know what that's called? A double standard. We're asking our kids to earn their distractions, and yet we don't hold ourselves to the same standard. I want you to try this. Hold off on the distractions, the scrolling, the binge watching, until you do the things that actually move the needle in your life. You'll get more done, you'll feel lighter, and regain your energy. Time doesn't have you. You have time. Command it. When you get intentional about where your time goes, everything changes. If you want to get serious about this, audit your time. Track everything for 7 days: work, kids, chores, commuting, scrolling, cleaning, everything. You'll quickly see where your time is leaking. For me, I realized I was spending so many hours wiping down the counter. Just tracking it was eye-opening. Here's a mindset shift. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is this isn't a priority. I don't have time to work out. What you're really conveying is that health is not a priority. I don't have time to see my friends. What you're really conveying, my relationships aren't a priority. I don't have time to invest in my marriage. That's not a priority right now. It's not that you can't. You just don't want to. You're not willing to make it a priority. You can. You absolutely can. You have the time. You don't need more hours in the day. You need clarity. You need boundaries. Right now, you're spending your time aimlessly because you lack clarity, structure, and discipline. Every day, you're just going through the motions on that hamster wheel of life. Every one of us is busy. Everyone has 1,000 demands that they're tending to. There's work demands, kids' schedules, meals, laundry, appointments, social obligations. We're all busy. What you need is clarity, meaning you know exactly what matters most to you. Not what Instagram says should matter, not what your neighbor's doing or your coworkers, what actually moves the needle for you. Define your priorities. Pick 3 to 5 things that matter most in this season for you. Everything else is secondary. It's a distraction. Then work backwards. Determine the actions required to align with those priorities. Schedule them into your calendar. Physically block time off to invest time into them. I can take a peek at your calendar right now and tell you exactly where your priorities are. And then focus. We've got to stop being reactive. We're derailing focus and energy every time that we react to notifications, to emails, to other people's agendas. Here's why it's so important to prioritize. You know that analogy where you've got like a big glass jar and different size rocks. If you try and put the sand in first, right, the things that really aren't that big of a priority, the big rocks don't fit. So when you take a moment to reflect on the things that actually matter in your life and you schedule those in first, that's how you get everything to fit. You put the biggest rocks in first, then you sprinkle in like the pebbles, the like secondary things, and then the small little grains of sand, they fit on top of that. If you do it the other way around, the big rocks don't fit. That's why I want you to prioritize, because I think too often we are stuck in the mundane and we're squeezing in the little pebbles, the grains of sand that aren't really moving the needle for us, just the things that we have to get done on any given day. Those aren't the big needle movers. You need to block time off for your big boulders, and then you incorporate the smaller things. That's how it all fits. Because when you invest time into the big rock priorities, it fills you with the energy that you need to tackle the smaller things. I don't really want to clean the bathrooms, but when my cup is so full because on Friday night I was like, you know what? I'm just going to surprise the kids and we're going to go out for ice cream and we're going to have an incredible night. Or sometimes I'll just, on a whim, it's like almost Olivia's bedtime and I'll say, hey babe, do you want to come to the grocery store with me? Let's go get some dessert. Let's go get some ice cream cones. Let's go get some sprinkles. Let's go get some ice cream. I'll just take her to the store with me in her pajamas and we'll come back and have ice cream sundaes. And that shit fills me up. So that tomorrow morning when I'm scrubbing those bathrooms, not really wanting to do that, but I know it needs to get done, I just think back to last night and I'm like, God, that was such a great evening. And it doesn't seem so bad. That's why you need to prioritize your big rocks first. You have to take control of your life so that you can have control over your life. Here's the game changer. Small, consistent actions made consistently over time leads to significant and radical outcomes. This is called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, the first self-help book I ever read. and it had the most profound impact on me. It's the single most book that I recommend the most. Life-changing. Most people underestimate how much they can actually do in a year. The life you want is closer than you think. You have got to stop waiting for later, for life to slow down, for this busy season to be over. There will always be a busy season, never-ending to-do lists, and people who constantly need you. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to create more time, more energy, and more balance is to make it a priority. And here's why it matters. You're not just stealing time from yourself. It's affecting the people you love. All those times you found yourself saying, in a minute, maybe later, or not right now, when your kids ask you for your attention, those minutes you keep putting off, they add up. And before you know it, you're not just missing playtime. You're missing out on truly living those moments with your kids. Those moments you're never going to get back. And what's worse is that you might not even realize how much it's affecting you. Your energy is drained, your mind scattered, and your presence diminished. It's not just a phase, it's a pattern. Now that you have clarity on what's important to you, those 3 to 5 things, and the actions aligned to them are blocked off in your calendar, you have to be disciplined enough to protect them like your life depends on it. Because it does. And if you don't protect them, nobody else will. Here's what I encourage you to do. Write down the 3 things that matter to you most right now. Not 33. Then ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned with these? Or am I leaking time, energy, and attention into things that just don't matter? And if the answer is the second one, good. Now you can fix it. Not by adding more, but by subtracting the wrong things. I heard this phrase that I love. Remove ruthlessly. Delete, get rid of, take away as much as you can. Stop being too busy doing the wrong things. You don't need to do more. You need to do less, but make it count. This could be done on a daily level. It could be done on a weekly level, monthly, quarterly, annually. Here's a really recent example of this. I used to be in 3 different fantasy football leagues, and combined for all 3 of them, I invested $600 total. So because that was quite a significant investment for me, I didn't even realize how much time and energy that was taking out of me. The drafts in and of themselves were quite some time, probably 2 hours for each one. And then because of the investment that I had in it, I wanted to make sure that my teams were doing well. So I was either watching every single game because either I had a player playing in the game or my opponent had a player. And so I was either rooting for certain players or rooting against others. I was being attentive for every single game. Thursday nights, completely dedicated to football. All day Sunday and Monday evening. And if I wasn't on the couch physically watching the game, I was literally on my phone checking the scores every 4 seconds. So this year, I just decided that's not how I want to spend my time. On Sundays, I want to be with the kids. So I pared down, spent $50 on one league, and honestly, I auto-drafted because the draft was while my family and I were on a mini vacation and I was taking my kids to the park. And I just decided I don't want to be stuck on my phone drafting this team that I don't really even care about. I wanted to be present with my kids at the park. So I put it on auto draft, and this past weekend was the first week of the NFL. And I think I literally watched 20 minutes because on Sunday, I took my kids to the park again to meet up with a girlfriend. Amber, shout out to you. I know you're an avid listener. Love you. And I took my kids to lunch and it was fantastic. It filled my cup way more than me being at home on the couch watching football. Maybe you do something kind of out of habit every year, but it's not really fueling you. You're not getting energy out of that. You're not moving toward your goals. So I would just take that example and really reflect on some of the things that you're saying yes to and really thinking like, is this moving me toward my goals? Because if it's not, then you probably don't need to do them. Remove. And that's an annual basis, but on a daily level, that could be not binge watching a show until 11 o'clock or midnight. It could mean turning off the TV and going to bed on time. Or if you're anything like me, drinking kind of just became a habit, especially during COVID. If I made it to like 4 o'clock, I was like, wow, I deserve a glass of wine or I deserve to have a couple seltzers. And that habit just kind of stuck with me. And I just, again, habitually would just go into the fridge after getting home from work, crack open a beer or a seltzer. And I just began to realize like that wasn't really fueling me. My sleep was kind of wrecked, felt groggy the next morning. I wasn't as mentally sharp. More often than not, I would snooze for my workout. So I would just really encourage you to take inventory. There's things that you're probably doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis just out of habit that don't really serve you. Take inventory of those things. Try and notice them and remove, delete them. Just because it's habit doesn't mean you have to do it. That's just been a really powerful exercise that I've been doing recently, thinking about what are my priorities? And it almost always boils down to family, the kids, my marriage, my relationship with my parents. How can I incorporate more time into those things that I really care about? And where can I remove? Friend, the truth is, it's not that you can't. You can. You absolutely can. You have the time. It comes down to what you're willing to prioritize and sacrifice for. Don't wait for life to slow down. Don't wait for a perfect season. Your kids deserve a mom who's fully present. You deserve to feel alive again. And it starts with commanding your time, not letting it command you. You don't need to do more. You need to do less. But make what you do count. You have enough time to build the life you're obsessed with. You just need to use it like it matters, because it does. Make today the day that you start acting like your time matters, because it does. Here's something that I know. It's not that I have more time than you. It's that I have more energy for the time that I have, because I invest in the right things, myself included, and I protect the time like my life depends on it. The longer you wait for the future you want, the less time you have to spend in it. I just want to make sure that you heard that. The longer you wait for the future that you want, the less time you have to spend in it. So go get after it. I hope this episode resonated with you. If it did, please consider subscribing or leaving a review. Those are the two fastest ways for the podcast to grow and to reach more moms who need it. If you're anything like me and have felt like you had to do it all because asking for help felt like admitting you weren't enough, then next week's episode is for you. We're diving into how to ask for help without feeling like a failure and actually accept help when it's offered, because you don't have to do motherhood alone. I'll share practical tips, personal stories, and mindset shifts that make it easier to let others in, so you can finally lighten your load and actually enjoy this season. Have a great week. I will see you in the next episode.